Where am I today? Look at that. I'm in a quarry. I'm in an actual quarry. Is that not cool? This is known as Spital quarry, found in Caithness in the north east of Scotland. And right now we're in a quarry that's quarrying out the Caithness flagstone. And I'm going to tell you how that forms and how these sediments got here, okay? Now these sediments are part of your old red sandstone group, believe it or not, right? And they were deposited during the Devonian period, just after you had the continental collision. So you know how I go on about the two plates colliding with each other, and you had that subduction zone in Avalonia, which was England, met Scotland, which was Laurentia, right? They both collided and they had all this crustal thickening, the continent thickening, right? And then you had an old red sandstone continent known as Laurussia. And this old red sandstone continent in the northeast of Scotland had this big massive lake known as Lake Orcadia, or Arcada. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm just going to go with that, right? So because all these sediments from the south at this point that make up the roots of the mountains, you know how they met sedimentary rocks, right? They were all flowing down, like the sediments were flowing down rivers and streams. And at this point in time as well, because it was a supercontinent known as Laurussia, because you had the two continents collide with each other, you also had like not a lot of plants. There was no plants at all, so there was nothing to hold together the rocks, right, and the rock faces. So all of this sediment just kind of came down and was deposited, and here in Caithness it was deposited within that lake, and that it just over geological time, just more deposits on top of more deposits. And you can see the layers here. The rocks are like horizontal still, which represents that bed, and also you had deposits on the edge of this lake which were represented by desert conditions, because sometimes the lake would shrink and then it would get bigger again and then shrink again and then get bigger again. And when that was happening, you had like in the edges of this lake like deposition of sediments by sand and desert areas, so it's pretty cool.